Hey, yo, boys, big surprise here. In addition to everything in the update, we also got a notice for a Marvel Future Fight survey. You know your boy loves his surveys, and I love it when Marvel Future Fight listens to us. So let's get that 100 energy and follow this fill out this survey together and see what they have cooking up for us. For those of you wondering, historically, to the best of my knowledge and to the best of my memory, they do listen in the surveys. Sort of. They're slow to react. Like, the stuff that we're saying now in the survey is probably not going to show itself in updates, maybe for the rest of the year. Because as we know from what was revealed a long time ago, they try to plan updates out as long as 6 months. Now, more recently, I feel like they've shortened that to about 3 or 4 months. They seem to be a bit more reactive to certain changes, and also Marvel doesn't have as set in stone of a timeline for how they want to do things. Movies are getting delayed, things are getting shuffled around, things are getting, announced and then canceled or sort of pushed back. So I think the game is a bit shorter on its, what they have planned ahead, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see stuff from this survey until like December or January type of stuff. And keep in mind, we don't have an update every single month, so December might be light on content regardless. Which of the following, let's check out the first question, is the hardest upgrade for you? Okay, anybody that says level 1 to 60 or rank up or mastery or is just joking. Literally the only difficult thing, it's not even here. Bruh. It's not even here. The tier 4 advancement. The tier 4 advancement. That's the answer. Tier 4 advancement or gear 25 to 30, that is the hardest part. None of this is hard. None of this is hard. I'm walking into a limp factory. None of these things are hard at all. I guess tier 3 advancement. The only reason why I'm saying tier 3 advancement is because of the books. That is a decent argument to make for those of you yelling at the screen right now. The books! The books! The Titan records! Okay, sure. The Titan records can be annoying even for me, and I spend money once in a while on that book pack shit that they sell for $27. So yeah, I would agree with you there, but it's a little disheartening to see that they are not putting in the tier 4 advancement or the gear upgrade 25 to 30. Now, I think, on the other hand, right, I don't think they're stupid, so I think that they're not putting it in there because they know that it's the hardest, and it's like supposed to be the hardest, so they're like, okay, besides the hardest, what is the next hardest for you? So it's interesting, but we're going to go ahead. How much time do you spend playing Future Fight each day? Now, this is interesting. I really, truly encourage players to be honest. Saying you play a lot just to try to get in the good graces of the game or like get good RNG is not going to work. This is a metric that's really important, if you didn't know, for mobile games. Daily active users, or DAU, is also very important. That's a metric that they look at, how many people are logging in, even for just a minute. But on top of daily active users, you have like time spent in the game. I don't know what the acronym is for it, but it's very, very important. And the longer, the better, because the psychology behind it is pretty simple. The longer you play a free game, the higher the chance that you will justify spending money on the game. Because if you play for an hour every day, after a month, you've played for 30 hours. You're like, wow, I got 30 hours for free of enjoyment. That's worth $5. That's worth $10, whatever that 30 hours is worth to you, right? Let's say you play 2 hours a day. Maybe after a week, you're like, man, I've spent almost 15 hours this week playing MFF. I could throw $10, $20 at the game to speed up my progress, to unlock this character, unlock that thing, get that item, whatever, those cards. This is the psychology behind playtime in-game. So when they introduce new game modes that are slow, that have lots of loading screens, when they introduce or they change game modes to have a very long timer, lots of people were complaining about Multiverse Invasion, where it takes 20 minutes. That's all intentional. Even if you're auto-playing the content with the power saver screen on, that's still time where your phone is locked up, not doing anything else. And for most people, they only have one phone. And for most people, their phone is integral to their day-to-day. So even if you're not having the most fun possible playing MFF, let's say you're only enjoying like 60% of the game, right? But if your phone is locked up for an hour every day playing MFF, the game itself starts to rise in priority in your mind, sort of subconsciously. And you're like, well, I spend a lot of time playing the game, even though you don't actually spend an hour, right? You spend like half an hour playing and half an hour auto playing. So keep that in mind. You're like, I spent an hour playing the game. I could spend a bit of money to speed things up, to smooth out my progress, etc. Again, it's all part of the psychology here. So be aware of that, you know, for better and for worse, but also be honest. At the current rate, I say I play 1 to 2 hours a day. I am pretty happy with the amount of time that I play. I would also like it to be longer, but I think that the time spent, if it's going to be longer, has to be high quality time. I think that's an issue with the game right now, is it's at a very good level for the amount of time that you need to play every day to get all your dailies done, and for the amount of time that is valuable time, right? That is like high value time that's enjoyable. If they try to pad the time by adding in fluff game modes and adding in fluff shit that you autoplay, that is going to, you know, disrupt the homeostasis, and that's going to make the game feel bad, feel tedious, feel like a chore, right? That's really the balance you're trying to strike, right? The game mode can't be pure high-octane enjoyment for hours, right? That's just not possible, right? It's a mobile game. It's not Elden Ring, okay? We know that. It has its limitations, okay? But it also can't be full of fluff, so there has to be a balance here. All right. Do you think the amount of daily game modes is enough? This is tough. This is tough. I think it's enough. It's either enough or it's too much. It's certainly not enough. It's certainly not this one. It's either too much or not enough, or enough, sorry. But the issue here is the quality of the game modes. I am happy with the number of game modes. I just want their quality to be improved. I would be totally fine with all of the daily tasks that I have now to do if they just improved some of them. They made a couple of them more enjoyable. So honestly, I think it's enough. I would actually like it if Timeline Survival stayed around all the time with the new rewards and the way that they changed it around. Even if you could only do one run a week and it was just there perpetually, I would actually like that. So honestly, I'm almost leaning towards it's not enough. I'm almost leaning towards that, but let me say it's enough. That's fine. It's iffy. It's iffy. Which content do you enjoy the most? Select up to 2. Okay, so here is where, again, they're trying to see what people enjoy so that they can figure out what they're going to invest more time into. However, this has backfired in the past because I told people, like, I can remember from past surveys, I told people don't say World Boss because they know that World Boss is the most popular game mode. They know. Trust me, they know. I can bet my life on this one. They know how much we like World Boss. So I feel like saying World Boss is just, it reinforces these bad sort of, you know, it reinforces a negative behavior, in my opinion. And it sort of, it lets them know that they're like on the right track. And I don't think they're on the wrong track necessarily, but I think they could use some humbling. I think the devs need to be humble. Not the devs, the managers need to be humbled a little bit. So I actually think I'm going to say Shadowland here. Funny enough, I'm going to say Shadowland because I want Shadowland to appear on the ranking, but I want them to focus more on Shadowland. Like, I want them to increase, like, I want them to introduce new stages of Shadowland. I want them to introduce new restrictions in Shadowland. I like the most recent Shadowland update for sure, but I think there's still more that they could do there. And then for the second one, it's difficult. I like story mode because of the variety of characters in the sense that it rotates every month, and I like the rewards, but the gameplay itself for story mode is very dry because it's just autoplay. So that's tough. So from purely a game mode point of view, right? Obviously, World Boss would be there. Let's just get that out of the way. But there has to be something else here. I do think Shadowland is fun. I am going to keep Shadowland there. I genuinely think that GBR is fun. I know some people don't like it because of the connection and you have bad Wi-Fi or whatever, you know. You get kicked. But I do think GBR is fun. And I do think they could expand GBR and make it even more interesting and have like multiple layers of it, or have, you know, different entries in different amounts, right? You could have an entry for energy, you could have an entry for gold, you could have an entry for, I don't know, crystals even. Like, they could do lots of different stuff with Giant Boss Raid that could be fun. I'm also tempted to say a PvP game mode, but I just don't know. There's a lot of game modes that need work, unfortunately. I think Alliance Battle is good. I think it could use with some new rewards because they just bumped up the score caps. So I certainly think it could use more rewards. But so many things need need new polish. Absolutely. So it's tough, but I think I'm going to say GBR here. All right, which content do you find the least enjoyable? Okay, so this one's going to be pretty easy. We're going to go for the high-value game modes that I think need the most work. So this is easy. Alliance Conquest. Again, I think this game mode has so much potential still. Having a PvP version of Shadowland is huge, but the way that it's implemented right now, I think, is bad. Having it 1v1v1, I've always hated that. I think it's very dumb. It encourages collusion and cheating. And I also think the timers being 2 hours a day, 3 times a day is just absurd. Just completely, you know, unacceptable and unmanageable for most people that have a life and, you know, want to play the game on the side. So I think Conquest has to be mentioned here. Otherwise, it's tough. I like most of the game modes, to be honest. I think probably Heroic Quest is pretty bad, but it's not really a game mode so much as it's just like a vehicle to encourage you to play the rest of the game. So I don't think that it's really... it should be a target. Actually, I think I'm going to say Alliance Tournament. I think they need to improve both of these game modes expeditiously. And I've made videos on both of these game modes multiple times. We're going to say Conquest and Tournament here. Group content. I think they need to focus on group content to keep the existing player base happy. Which content do you wish was removed from the game? Wow. So you can choose one piece of content to just straight up be removed from the game. Well, not that they're going to listen to you, but wow. Yeah. Multiverse Invasion is interesting. It's not a bad option for those of you that are choosing it, because it basically just reduces 20 minutes of fluff time, if you remember what I talked about. Now, a lot of people are not going to want to vote for Multiverse Invasion because they believe that if the game mode is removed, then the rewards will just disappear. That's not how it works. They're not going to do that. They're not going to risk pissing off the players. They're just going to migrate all of the rewards from Multiverse Invasion over to another game mode, right? To just fold those rewards into another game mode. It's also interesting that World Event isn't here. I just realized on both of the pages, on the last page and on this page, World Event is not here. So they might be getting rid of World Event already. World Event may already be on the chopping block, which is very interesting. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I think I'm going to choose Multiverse Invasion. It's tough. There's not a lot of game modes that I actually want to be removed. Sometimes I'm frustrated with certain game modes, for sure. Like Timeline Battle is frustrating sometimes. You know, Legendary Battle seems like wasted potential sometimes. But I wouldn't remove them. I think I would actually just choose Multiverse Invasion. Just get rid of more fluff. We have enough autoplay game modes with Story Mode and Dimension Rifts and Dispatch and stuff like that. And now you can autoplay in Shadowlands, so there's autoplay there. So I think I would say Multiverse Invasion, as long as, of course, they migrate the rewards. Now, final thing. Why do you wish that content was... oh, that's the final thing. But why do you wish that content was removed? Okay. And there you go. There's my answer. You can pause to read it, but it's essentially what we already talked about. Which of the following is your favorite event? Event missions, which, okay, yeah, like Halloween and stuff like that. Faction battle, pretty boring. Event quest. Event quest is like the token events, I guess. Crafting events, those are nice. The secret shop, love that, but it's like a Wales game. Cosmic Core is all right. Event world boss, I think is pretty fun, has nice rewards. Biometric acquisition increase is meaningless. Alliance donation event is nice. I like that. Collector's Vault is nice. They improved that. And then Timeline Survival. I really like Timeline Survival. I can choose 3. Okay, I really like Timeline Survival now. Let's see here. I really like the Event World Boss. I think that's quite nice. And then I think Cosmic Core is still really fun. I think the rewards need to be improved. I think they need to like add tier 4 materials, even if it's a really small amount, because I'm finding that there's basically no rewards that I would need anymore from Cosmic Core, and I just refresh every day for free until I just... I just end up with no rewards, essentially, because I don't need tier 3 materials. I don't need tier 2 materials. It's a bit of a wah-wah issue, world's smallest violin here. But I still think these are the best events. I do. It's a mixture of events that give you something new to do, and also events that just enhance the existing grind, which I think are both very important. How many times have you purchased something from the shop? Oh, buddy, 10 times or more. Mega purchase. Mega purchaser here. What type of items do you generally purchase? I purchase crystals. I purchase limited time items. Ooh, tier 4 materials, CTP, premium cards. We'll go with crystals and limited time items. Yeah. I also purchase tier 4 materials sometimes, but I guess those are my 2 most frequent purchases. How many games do you play aside from Marvel Future Fight? Surprisingly, not that many anymore. Yeah, I've honestly just cut down a lot on games, and especially mobile games. I don't do any mobile games besides MFF. I played Grand Cross for a long time. You guys know that, but I quit a year ago. I played Snap as soon as it came out, but it was very frustrating, and the matchmaking was dog shit. So I quit that maybe 6 months ago or more. I quit it quite a while ago. And now I've just been playing computer games in the meantime. Like in between MFF sessions, I've been playing Diablo 4. I've been playing Path of Exile. So I would say like 2, like 1. Please leave a message if you have anything to say. Oh, buddy, I have so much to say. All right, and there you have it. I wrote that all on my phone, so now I'm going to go chop off my hands. Pause to read if you want. Finish the survey yourself. Collect your 100 energy. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.